Hey everybody, how's it going? I know this is a little bit later than usual, but last 2 weeks have been insane, and I have been so exhausted after work. So haven't really had the energy to do the usual rundown at the beginning of the collab. However, if you saw on the community post that I threw out there on YouTube, which I can do now that we've hit 1,000 subscribers, I did say that I would delay this a little bit, but in return also put in the suggestions on what you want to do for this collab, whether it's worth pulling for these gacha monsters, whether it's worth max lucking these monsters as a result of farming the various monsters. So that's what this is, and as you have noticed, I have not actually pulled on the collab either. This is probably the first time that I've waited to pull, and it's not because I don't want any of these monsters. It's just I am literally, with the little energy I've had the last few weeks, I've been focusing it on some other games instead. And I've finally, just yesterday, because it was Monster Strike Day yesterday, finally got monsters up to like the 70 luck mark. So, just finally starting to get into the groove of the collab. So hopefully, actually there's probably many of you out there who's already done. But for those of you who aren't and are still thinking about whether you want to spend the effort or not, this is the video for you. So let's begin with the collab monsters in the gacha. We have Denoh in his climax form. You can see that the skill set is not too bad. I mean, we've got Minesweeper, Null Wind, and Null Magic Circle as a total. You also have a bump combo boost, which essentially makes his bump combos, to a level of a blast type. And you also have strike shot turn charge, which should help out his strike shot. You can see the strike shot. We got the details there below it. And the first turn, which is at 12 turns, you can get 1.2 times his normal attack, and you get 3 hits of the follow-up at about 138k each, plus a static 945k afterwards, which is pretty solid. If you wait until the second tier, you get a nice boost up to 50% of his self attack, and the follow-up jumps to 231k 3 shots, as well as a 1.61 million follow-up afterwards. So it's a pretty solid set there, and the good thing is that the follow-ups are all elemental, so they have that fire damage, so they get even more damage if you're in the correct element type, which is cool to see. And it also has a range attack, so it's not only hitting the first monster you hit, but anybody around it also gets hit by the slashes that he does. It's kind of like a diagonal and a kind of vertical-ish attack, which is pretty nice. And he definitely has the potential to shine in the future. He's clearly good for Kinki no Goku Abyss 23. So if you are having trouble with that stage, this monster is going to be great for you. And certainly with the skill set, Minesweeper quests are still all the rage, and having that nasty Null Magic Circle. Plus, recently you could always see a plus alpha with the Null Wind come into play. So definitely seem like Denoh is a monster that you would want. Now, is it worth chasing after? I don't think it's that good that I have to pull it like somebody on a Deku level, Kurapika level. It's not that level, but it's certainly a solid monster that if you want one good monster from the gacha, Denoh seems like it's good to aim for him. Next up, we have Kamen Rider 1 and 2, Ichigo Shin Nigo. And you can see here, once again, solid set here with a super null gravity barrier, being able to move around faster if he ever hits a gravity barrier gimmick, and tie that with super null wind to give him extra speed. So with the right situation, this guy's a speed monster. You also have flight and null block on the gauge, which really makes him very versatile. We can have the potential for this gacha monster to shine in many quests in the future. Strike shot is very nice. You can see it'll split into two, moves around, and makes the weak point effectiveness higher. You can see on the first tier, the bonus is 10% to himself, and the split, the main still gets 160. The minimum is at 130, so it's a little bit weaker, but I mean that's essentially non-issue. Plus a 470k vertical attack, which is straight down the vertical of the monster at the end. And you can see that the weak point effectiveness is 50% and lasts 3 turns, including the turn that you use it. When you get to the second tier, the bonus for his attack goes up to 30%, and you can see that the bonus follow-up there is much higher at 250k and 210k for the clone, 660k for that final shot, plus weak point effectiveness increased by 50%, and that lasts for 4 turns, including the turn you use it. So every monster will get a chance to take advantage of it. So, given that, if the weak point location is in the right spot, you can actually do a lot more damage than what's listed here, which makes him a very strong monster as well. So, definitely another seal of approval to, get one monster. This guy is great as well. The fact that the strike shot has that power to overkill, with, the slash. If the bump combo is in the very middle of the monster, you are going to do an insane amount of damage, which can, overkill boss gauges really nicely. Obviously, the bump combo, energy burst has difficulties to get the right range, and cross clone bullet, while it's nice, it's really hard to, utilize properly. Now, if you have multiple copies, sure, it'll just go around and you're going to see everything up. But if you only have one, I don't ever have the image that a cross clone, the bullet strike shot is that amazing, but certainly solid. Again, same situation as I would put it in the same tier as Denoh there, as like great get from this gacha, but not necessarily something that you want to chase after for. Although this one might have, because of how wide his skill set is, certainly has a chance to shine in the later stages. Alright, next up is we've got Kuga in his ultimate form. Inner strength is always a questionable ability, and it's also weird that it's tied with a soul steal because they kind of work against each other, right? Soul steal is going to heal once you kill an enemy, but inner strength depends on you having low HP. So, it's kind of in conflict with each other, which is kind of weird to see. Strike shot, you can see that the doesn't really get any self attack bonuses, right? It just says speed up, so there's no bonus there. But the defense down timings, as well as the weak point effectiveness for himself. Do keep in mind that this isn't increasing the weak point of the boss, but rather Kuga himself will do that much extra damage, which is very interesting because if you looked at the YouTube videos of how his strike shot is being used, he himself is powered up, so you use the super plasma and then take advantage. I believe the bump combo also takes advantage of this. You take advantage of that double damage on this second tier. That HP bar of the boss is melting pretty quickly, so it's interesting what you can do with him. But you have to keep in mind that he is the one that has the weak point damage multiplier, not the boss itself. So you have to use Kuga to be able to do the extra damage. You can see defense down is a 10% bonus for 3 turns, including the turn you use it, and weak point effectiveness is 50% higher at 5 turns. So basically at the end of Kuga's next turn, it's still active. So he himself gets to take advantage of this ability twice with 1 strike shot usage. If you go to the second tier, that bonus goes up to 20% and 2 times, so 100% bonus for his second tier strike shot. So it's a solid strike shot. It clearly lasts for a while, and so you can get good damage output, but you have to understand how to use it, right? So keep that in mind. However, it's just damage wall and speed down wall, and that's a really narrow skill set. So I believe that's why they ticked down his rating just a little bit there on Game With for only an 8.0. It's going to be hard for him to shine, to be honest, on harder quests. So we'll see how he can be useful. So, that's the gacha monsters for the 6-star. Let's take a look at the 5-star monsters real quick, because they are also quite nice. We've got Genius Form, Build, Recovery, Status Recovery, Super Null Warp on the main, and Null Block on the gauge. Nice support abilities on the main. Again, you don't have to worry about a gauge, which is always nice. And of course, having no block on the gauge is a nice utility chance as well. Strike Shot is speed and power up, and then a follow-up attack at the first hit enemy at 16 turns. And basically, it's a nice 50% self-attack power up, right? And does, a 471k static damage as well. But what's also interesting is you also have the chance to do some status effects. You could get a 2-turn paralyze. You can get a defense down of 25% against the boss for 2 turns, or an attack down by 25% for 5 turns, including the turn you use it. So, and however, these are all chances. You're not guaranteed any of them. I'm not even sure you're guaranteed one of them, but it certainly looked random in terms of which ones you could get. So, it's strong. You could use him, and what's interesting is that depending on where the boss is, the path build takes is a little bit different. I think it was if it's hugging the left wall, it'll come from the right side. If it's hugging the right wall, it's coming from the left side. And if that path it takes hits the weak point, it looks like you do extra damage. You can look at Shiro's video to see that in action. You can see them clearly surprised at the damage output, and it really does depend on which direction it's coming on, which is interesting. Yeah, interesting is a good word. Now the bump combo is it's the expanding pierce lock on shockwave, so it's guaranteed to go to one enemy, but you're not gonna get some widespread damage, right? It's gonna be localized. However, that ability plus strike shot combo, warp and block for a 5-star monster, probably gonna see some use out of him. He's not at a level where he's gonna try to replace a 6-star monster, but certainly a strong monster. That strike shot is really powerful. Then we got 2-0 here. Super Null Gravity Barrier, Null Magic Circle, Null Wind, and Repeat Hit Slayer M on the gauge. The strike shot is a bash and a kick, so 510k for the bash, 2 million static for the kick, which is very, very strong. 2 million is no joke, so that is a real nice thing to see. However, the disappointing thing here is the synergy with his skills, right? You have Repeat Hit Slayer and Super Null Gravity Barrier. However, that strike shot is a bash, so the first enemy you hit, it stops. So it would have been nice if we could take advantage of the speed or the Slayer there a little bit more. But yeah, that's one bad thing. But Gravity Barrier, Magic Circles, Wind, certainly a nice wide skill set, and I think the Game With article was suggesting that could be a very, very strong metal farming monster because of the potential damage output and speed overall by himself that can come with it for Gravity Barrier quests. So certainly solid monsters, and as is the case with all gacha collabs, make sure you just have one in your pocket. There's no immediate pressure to 90 luck either of them, but absolutely have one of each, maybe even 2 of each, just to make sure you have enough in case they're solid or they're used. Alright, let's go into the event monsters one by one. First, we will talk with one of the more stronger ones, and let me push this up here since it's covering the text. We got Tajadol combo with the O's. Kamen Rider O's, and this guy has Flight and Counter Slayer, which scales based on luck. So obviously you want to max luck him to be able to take advantage of Counter Slayer fully. Null warp and null speed down wall on the gauge. Strike shot is an explosion on the first hit enemy. However, he keeps moving after that, which usually when you have those explosions type strike shots, he stops there. But Tajidol's combo form of the O's will actually keep moving after that explosion. And the bump combo is a double energy circle L. Now, to get this Tajidol combo, you have to clear the Chokyukyoku quest, right, on top in red. This is coming up in the schedule, so you gotta watch out for it. Clear it. You only need to clear it once, though. If you want to max luck him, which I have rated as a medium plus, you have to farm the water event quest, right? The standard, I guess standard, I don't know if that's the right way to call it, standard O's quest. Strike shot, it does a 30% bonus with the attack when he moves, and the total damage that you're getting, it looks like to be about 3 million, with taking advantage of the counter slayer, right? Because you're going to hit the boss, you be the counter target for the class, going to do extra damage by definition. So however, I mean, with previous Chokyukyoku monsters, previous collabs, I don't think there's anything like super stand out, right? Like nothing, oh my god, kind of level. I don't think so, unfortunately. However, if you are feeling lazy in this collab and you really only want to do one monster, then you should really do this guy. Max luck, the Tajidol combo form of the O's, farm the water quest, clear the Chokyukyoku once, and you are good. So that's why it's a medium plus, because this should be your target max lucking if you are feeling lazy. Next we have the Black RX form, Kamen Rider Black RX. He is a regen and null magic circle on the main and got null gravity barrier on the gauge. Strike shot is a special attack to the first hit enemy, and he got a 8-way laser EL bump combo. Basically it's a bash and explosion. It's at 1 million for the bash, which is really, really nice. And no, it is a 12-turn strike shot, so you can cycle that pretty quickly. Every 3 turns you move, you can do the strike shot. So it's a monster that you want to keep in mind that I can use the strike shot over and over again, and you should use it over and over again to take advantage of his damage output. The quest is pretty darn easy, so if you're just starting this game, it should be a monster you start right away to just max lucking, because this is going to be nice. And yes, while null magic circle and gravity barrier is somewhat of a rare set, in fact, if you look in the Monsterpedia as a Pierce types especially, there's really no replacement. So even for those of you who are veterans, while I can't say he has some like stand out quest to run right now, certainly in the future there's a chance that he might be able to shine. And since there's not that many replacements, you're either going to be forced to run some other quest which has the skill set, or you're going to be wishing you finish max lucking this guy in the past, which you can possibly never do again. So I mean, it's stocked at a medium, so you should probably do it. I would say, because it's easy, go ahead and finish it off. But as of what am I going to use him on right now? I don't know. So yeah. Next we've got Decade Violent Emotion, the Gekijotai form. We got No Wind, Bump Combo, Inner Strength, and null speed down wall, strike shot turn reducer, both of those on the gauge. Strike shot is a 21 turn speed power up with a follow-up attack to the first hit enemy. Strike shot gives you a 30% boost in attack, and it will activate bump combos as well, so it's a nice explosive party there. The biggest attraction certainly for the decade form is that the skills work very nicely with Arsene. So if you have Arsene, which yes, I don't have him, so or her, so whatever, but a max luck buddy for Arsene, Decade fits that role, so it's certainly a good combo. And being able to use copy with Arsene is nice, but you know, I've said this in the past already. Copy isn't that exciting anymore. So, I mean, you can have your opinion on whether it's still good or not, but it's copy. I would like to see something different, more exciting. However, this is a 24/7 direct drop quest, and so you don't need any luck to max luck this monster. You just need to clear this quest once a day, every day for the collab. You get 7 drops just for clearing that quest each day, for a maximum of 10 possible drops per day. You know, higher likelihood of getting more drops from the boss when you do co-op. So you only need 10 days potentially to max luck this monster, and as you've noticed, this collab is lasting for a while. So I would highly recommend, you know, it would be a low, but because of the fact that it's just a daily quest and it's not that bad of a quest, you can max luck this. So go ahead and do that. Maybe when you get Arsene, it'll be even higher in terms of its worth, but because it's the daily, you know, quest, go ahead and do that. Game Width does give it a 6.5, which is definitely on the lower end for a 6-star, but that's fine. Let's see, Saber and Psycho. This is a special post quest reward monster. You have to clear. Well, let's go over his details first. We got no magic circle boost. So it turns into a happy chicken once you go over a magic circle. Demon's Bane on the main, so that means of course everything else is going to take advantage of the slayers. If it's Majin, or not Majin, Mazoku type, right? Or what was it, Demon and Demon Mancer, I think. Yeah, and null damage roll on the gauge. Strike shot is a 22 turn speed up and power up with a follow-up attack to the closest enemy after you're done moving, and the bomb combo is the cross-splitting bomb, right? It goes, or no, more like that. Looks like his strike shot gives him a 20% boost in attack, and you get about a little more than 500,000 attack with, you know, 2 slashes as a follow-up attack. So definitely, you know, a solid output. How you get him? Well, you have to run one of those 3 quests listed on the right side, and you'll get 1 chest for just clearing those quests. You get another one if you're doing co-op, and you can get another one, a third one, if you are running that quest with a Kamen Rider collab monster in your party, which means you get a total of 3 chests. Each of those chests has a chance to drop 1 to 3 copies of Saber and Psycho, and they also will take advantage of any Fueru biscuits you use. So if you use a ×2, there's a chance you can get 6 out of that. So theoretically, if you use a biscuit, you meet all the requirements to get 3 chests. That's 18 drops on a quest. Requires some luck, but I'm sure somebody's seen it. But again, you got magic circle boost with damage roll, which is actually somewhat of a rare set if you look in the box. So it's hard to find a replacement. You're gonna have that same situation I was talking about earlier. So you should, and I have a medium star there because if you are max lucking other monsters, you know, this should come naturally by finishing that up. You should hit max luck by the end of things. If you're not max lucking monsters, is it worth doing it for this? No. If you feel like this guy's important, then you should probably max luck other monsters along the way. Like, yeah, I mean, it's a tough situation. Again, if you feel like you're gonna play this game long future, you should probably do this because of the rare skill set situation I'm talking about. But if you're just casually playing, whatever, right? You get it while max lucking other things, that's great. If you don't care about max lucking, then there's no reason to do anything special. And I think last but not least, we've got the O's with the Puyo Tira form. Null damage wall. We got a Vivalith Kobutsu Slayer M on the main null block, and strike shot is a laser in the direction you point. but it stops at the first enemy it hits. A lot of times with the collabs, when you fire a laser, it just pierces through that monster. This one stops at the first hit monster, which is really weird. I don't know, maybe I'm used to it all the time that it pierces, but it stops. However, if you hit the weak point, you can actually do a lot of extra damage with that. And if it's a Kobutsu monster, it'll do even more. But how many bosses out there are Vivalith Kobutsu types? Not that much. So it's kind of a shame that, if it was like Ajin type, something like that, where you see a lot of those types, then his rating would probably get a full tick higher. But with a Kobutsu type, that's why he's down here. And I don't think there's any need to fret about making 2 max lux, because remember, the other O's form, right, the one at the beginning, this is just an alternate Evo form of the O's, the water O's we have here. So it's a free slide. You don't have to spend any materials to switch between one form of the other. So if that's the case, I just don't see, unless you want to get your max luck numbers up, which is certainly a valid reason to get separate. But if you don't want to go through the effort of farming this monster twice, there's no need to do it. Just have it and slide when necessary. It's a free slide, right? So that's an important thing, right? Like, I know plenty of people out there might be worried about materials. Don't worry, it's free. As long as you clear that quest, it's a free slide. So 6.5, low recommendation. And I guess we should go over the 5-star monsters. We got Oma, Zio, and Buki Survive. You can see their abilities there. You can read them on your own. Both of them has a 6.0 rating. Of course, with a 4 or 5-star monster, it takes a lot for them to get a high rating. They are 24/7 available in the game because they are the 4 or 5-star quests. And the only advice I can give is, if you do normally farm these 4 or 5-star monsters, their ability certainly has some merits to work with them, but only if you constantly do 5-star quests. None of them elevates themselves to a replaceable 6-star monster. Nothing like that. Again, if farming event quests are your thing, great. If not, like me, I almost never farm the 5-star monsters. Probably there's some previous gacha 4 or 5-star monster that's gonna outshine anyway. So yeah, there you go. All right, and just before we leave, you got the Shocker quests. This came on the last Monster Strike news, so all the details are in my Monster Strike news video if you missed that. But as a quick, Cliff's notes, a special quest is now available once per day. You can earn 1 orbs by hosting a quest and clearing it. It is a speed clear reward, so unless you take 100 turns to clear the boss, you'll get it for sure. However, this is important. You do not get orbs by joining as a guest. I'll talk about the asterisk later. You get 1 orb per day when clearing this quest each day, and you also get an orb for clearing the quest 1, 5, 10 times. And so obviously the asterisk is there. It's like, if you just want to get those extra orbs fast, you could just join and clear them. You'll get the clear counts, so you can get that 5th, 10th clear reward, but you won't be getting additional ones for normally clearing the quest. Right, and the orbs can be used to pull on a special item gacha that's available on your home screen with the Shocker icon. You'll be able to see, that menu there on the right with those items. And basically, you do a pull with the blue button that's, I guess, just above the screenshot that I have there. But you'll get an item, and only one of those 8 items will drop. Once you get it, that item is removed from the pool, and you won't get it again until you reset the box. A reset happens automatically when you earn all 8 items viewed there, and the box will reset. Now, you can manually reset this gacha by clicking that red button under those items. If you got what you want, whether it's, you know, maybe the speed super type scroll, all 4 of the super type scrolls, or if you care about the tokudamas, maybe when you get the tokudama you're good. It's up to you when you want to reset it, but you hit that, all of the items that you've gotten already will be back in play and you can do it again. So potentially you can get 16 copies of the same item if your luck is insanely good. I wouldn't use my luck for that, but I guess that's possible. You can get a total of 16 orbs, right? 13 times once per day, plus 3 for the total clear count rewards for a total of 16. So if you just want to be completely boring and get every item twice, you can do that. Or if you want to press your luck, right? Obviously the Fueru Biscuit, Miracle Min, and the Instant Transcend Shards are a little bit on a lower tier. Arguably the Tokudama maybe the second tier. The super type scrolls are going to be the top tier. And oh yeah, and I guess I forgot to put this on the Twitter images, but these scrolls do have a time limit, so you have to use them before you lose them. And actually, let me look in game to see when that time limit is. Let's see, do I have, yeah, I can pull up the game screen real quick. Oh, I still have the Rama quest. Okay, there you go. And of course now my screen isn't showing up. I see, it just crashed. What timing? Give me a second. Well, that's unfortunate, but there we go. Okay, so you know, when you get these super type scrolls, you know, you go into here, the monster menu item, go into the 4th menu item here to open up the scrolls, and you can see on the bottom half that the individual super types are available. Again, you can only feed them to monsters that have the respective types on the scrolls, and you have until April 7th, 3:59 a.m. Japan time to use them. If you do not use them, you will lose them. Alright, so please do not mess that up. And I guess now that I have the game screen up, oops. Now that I have the game screen up, you know, you can click the shocker button there. Here's where you do the item gacha. You know what? I guess I'll just do one pull. Hit the orange button here, and you will get to do one pull of the shocker gacha. Boom. And hey, that's actually really nice. The blast type. And so once you get that, you can go into the menu item and then say, which blast type monster should I give this, right? You can see, well, all the Loreleis already have it, which is nice. So, you know, maybe I'll give it to, I don't know, Lucy. I don't know. But it gives you an opportunity to figure out which monster you want to feed them to. And so, while I have yet to finish it, I guess I can show you my progress right now. Right? So, I mean, I think it was a very productive Monster Strike day. You know, being able to finish the red guy there on the bottom right. I think that's the one you get from, you know, running all the different quests, right? I'm a little bit behind on the dailies. I think 48 is at least 2 or 3 days behind what it should be if I was diligent to doing every day, but almost done with the O's and Black RX, I think. Almost there as well. So yeah, I mean, of course it's nice to finish them all, because again, the basic idea is you don't run, there's a chance they won't come back again, right? And that's always a shame. And so coming up later, I mean, I'll record it after I'm done with this, are my gacha pulls for Kamen Rider. And I guess that's it. So let me get back to the screen where the thing isn't cut off. So you have until, let's see, what day was it? April 2nd for the gacha. So we still have another full week and a half before this is over. It definitely feels like it's a little bit longer. I don't think we're gonna get anything extra. I mean, that would be a surprise. It does feel long compared to other collabs. I wonder why, but I don't know. I wouldn't expect anything new, but it's also a little bit weird, the timing, I feel like. Anyways, let me know in the comments if you have any questions for the collab. I'm here to talk about it. Wow, 30 plus minutes. Hopefully that wasn't too long, but if you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. I know, again, this is a little bit later than usual, but you know, here's me hoping that things start calming down at work, so I actually am not tired as heck after the end of the day. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, follow the Twitter account ENGmonst, or join us on Discord. And that's it. Until next time, bye bye. And no and bye bye.